Captain Alex Harper stood on the observation deck of the space station, staring out at the endless stars. The Milky Way stretched like a river of light, but his mind was far from the beauty outside. Today, he had an unusual and very important task. He was chosen to represent Earth in the Interstellar Council's Galactic Union marital program. In simple words, he had to choose a wife, but not just any wife. His partner would help build bridges between humans and alien civilizations. Alex rubbed his temples. He had read countless reports about the candidates, but seeing them in person was different. There were dozens of alien women, each from a different world, with abilities and appearances that humans could hardly imagine. Some glowed softly. Others had multiple limbs, and a few were so small that Alex almost missed them. He felt nervous. Choosing a partner for a lifetime, and for the future of humanity, was not something to take lightly. "Captain Harper?" a soft voice called. He turned to see Commander Leora, the human liaison. "The candidates are ready for the first meeting. Remember, appearances are not everything. Their culture, intelligence, and character matter more than what they look like." Alex nodded. "I know. I'll keep an open mind." He walked into the large hall. The candidates were arranged in a semicircle, each standing on a small platform that highlighted their unique features. Many of the humans whispering among themselves were already judging silently. Some looked shocked at certain aliens. Others whispered words like ugly or strange. Alex tried not to listen. He knew that in space, humans were often too focused on appearances, forgetting the heart and mind. Then his eyes fell on her. Zira. She was nothing like the glowing, graceful aliens around her. Her skin had an unusual texture. Her eyes were large and slightly luminescent, and her limbs bent in ways that made some onlookers frown. At first glance, many would call her unattractive. But Alex noticed something different. There was a quiet confidence in the way she held herself, a calm curiosity in her gaze, and a gentle warmth in her smile. Unlike the other candidates, she didn't try to impress anyone. She just was. The introductions began. Each candidate spoke in their language, then through translators. Many described their achievements, leading cities, inventing new technologies, mastering arts, or solving complex problems. Alex listened carefully, impressed by their intelligence. When it was Zyra's turn, she spoke softly, almost hesitantly, about her home planet, a world full of strange forests and singing mountains. "I like to observe," she said simply, "and I try to understand the creatures and people around me. I believe everyone has something special, even if it is not visible at first." Alex felt a small smile tug at his lips. Her words were simple, but the meaning was deep. She wasn't boasting. She was saying that she valued understanding and empathy. These were qualities that Alex knew were rare, even among humans. After the introductions, the candidates were given a challenge. They were to work together to solve a puzzle that involved creating a universal communication device, something that could translate emotions, gestures, and words between species. Alex watched as the candidates got to work. Some relied on strength or speed. Others used technology they had brought from their planets. Zyra struggled at first. She moved slowly and carefully, and some of the other candidates rolled their eyes. But Alex noticed that she observed everyone closely, learning from their methods. She didn't copy, but she found patterns. When she finally stepped forward, she combined ideas in a way no one had thought of. The device worked perfectly. The judges nodded in approval, impressed. Alex realized something important. While others relied on appearances, strength, or flashy skills, Zyra had intelligence, patience, and insight. Her uniqueness wasn't in her looks. It was in her mind and heart. Over the next few days, Alex spent more time with the candidates. He asked questions, observed how they treated others, and watched how they reacted to mistakes. Zyra always helped quietly, offering advice without seeking praise. She laughed softly when things went wrong, never getting angry or frustrated. In her presence, Alex felt calm. She made the vast, confusing world of alien cultures feel simple and understandable. One evening, while the candidates rested, Alex walked with Zira along a corridor that overlooked a garden of glowing alien plants. "Do you ever get lonely?" he asked. Zira tilted her head. "Sometimes," she admitted. "But I like learning about others. I like seeing the good in people, even when they don't see it in themselves. It makes the world brighter." Alex thought about the other candidates. Many were brilliant, yes, but few seemed truly kind. Few could make someone feel understood just by being near them. Zira could, and that mattered more than beauty, more than strength, more than fame. As the week went on, whispers about Zira continued. Some humans mocked her appearance, some aliens doubted her abilities, but Alex paid no attention. He had seen her heart, and it was something rare, something special. By the end of the first week, Alex realized that the choice wouldn't be easy, not because of who was best, but because he knew the right choice in his heart, even if others didn't understand it. He felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Choosing a partner for life and for humanity's future was a huge responsibility, but with Zira, he felt a sense of certainty he couldn't ignore. That night, Alex looked out at the stars again. Somewhere out there, civilizations were judging, learning, and growing. And he thought of Zira, the alien many called ugly, but who was, in his eyes, one of the most extraordinary beings he had ever met. A being who reminded him that true beauty wasn't about how you looked. It was about how you thought, how you cared, and how you could make the universe a little brighter just by existing. And for the first time in the contest, Alex felt hopeful. The journey had just begun, but he already knew that this story, his story, would be different, unique, special, just like Zira. The next morning, Captain Alex Harper woke up feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. Today was the first real test for the candidates. The Interstellar Council had designed challenges not just to test intelligence or skill, but character, compassion, and understanding, qualities that mattered most in building intergalactic friendships. Alex entered the challenge hall, a large, open space filled with strange tools, alien gadgets, and puzzle-like stations. The candidates were already there, moving with confidence. Some were quick and agile. Some had bright, glowing auras that lit the room. Zira stood quietly in the corner, observing everything carefully. She didn't rush. She didn't boast. She simply watched. The first challenge was announced. Each candidate had to help a small alien species native to the station build a shelter. These creatures were timid, had multiple legs, and communicated in sounds humans could barely hear. Many candidates immediately began lifting and moving materials without thinking. Some were rough, startling the creatures. Others tried to build something flashy, hoping to impress the judges. Zira moved slowly. She knelt down near the creatures and began listening to their sounds. She studied how they moved and what they seemed to like. Then she gently placed sticks and soft fibers, letting the creatures arrange some pieces themselves. Slowly, a perfect little shelter formed. The creatures chirped happily, circling her in approval. Alex noticed how calm and natural she was. While others had relied on their strength or speed, Zira used patience and understanding. She didn't need anyone to praise her. She simply cared about doing the right thing. When the task ended, the judges announced the results. Zira's shelter had the highest score, not because it was the most complex, but because it truly served the needs of the creatures. The other candidates were surprised. Some whispered in disbelief. Alex, however, smiled quietly. He had seen what others had missed. True talent often hides beneath simplicity. Next came a teamwork challenge. Candidates were paired to solve a problem requiring cooperation and empathy. Alex was paired with Zira. Together, they faced a puzzle that involved connecting devices from two different alien species so they could share energy safely. At first, it was difficult. Zira didn't understand the human tools, and Alex struggled to grasp the alien mechanisms. But instead of getting frustrated, Zira suggested, "Let's observe carefully first. We can learn from each other." Her calm approach helped Alex stay focused. They studied how the devices worked, shared ideas, and experimented patiently. Step by step, they solved the puzzle. When the judges checked, the setup worked perfectly, transferring energy safely between the species. Alex was impressed. Zira had a way of seeing the big picture, of noticing connections others missed. While some candidates tried to show off, Zira quietly thought, analyzed, and acted with intelligence and care. During a break, Alex asked, "Zira, how do you stay so calm under pressure? Most people panic in these challenges." Zira smiled softly. "I focus on understanding, not impressing. When you care about the people or creatures involved, everything else becomes less important. It is easier to act wisely when you listen and think first." Alex nodded, realizing how different her mindset was. In a galaxy full of beings showing off power or beauty, Zira valued understanding and kindness. These were qualities that could unite species, not divide them. The final challenge of the was the most personal. Candidates were asked to describe a personal moment of empathy or courage from their past. They could speak. The next week brought a challenge unlike any before. The Interstellar Council had arranged a mission to a small, uninhabited planet in the outer rim of the galaxy. The goal was simple in words but complex in execution. The candidates were to establish communication with a newly discovered alien species. No one knew much about these creatures, except that they had unique ways of thinking and interacting. Many humans and aliens had tried and failed in past missions, misunderstanding their signals or frightening them. Captain Alex Harper watched the candidates as they prepared. Some were confident, some anxious. Zira stood quietly, observing the strange environment and the alien patterns of light flickering across the planet's surface. To anyone else, it looked like she was simply staring, but Alex knew she was thinking, analyzing, and learning. The team split into pairs. Alex was naturally paired with Zira. "Are you ready?" he asked. Zira nodded. "I think so. Let's try to understand them first, not rush." The other pairs rushed forward, trying to make themselves noticeable. Many of the aliens responded with fear or confusion. Alex frowned. "Maybe rushing isn't the right approach," he said quietly. Zira smiled slightly. "Observe, then act." She knelt on the ground, extending her hand slowly, and then began to hum a low, soft sound. It was rhythmic and calm. To Alex's amazement, the alien creatures responded. Their lights flickered in a pattern that almost seemed like a conversation. Alex leaned closer. "Are you communicating with them?" "Yes," Zira whispered. "Not with words, with patterns, with feeling. I am matching their rhythm." For hours, Zira studied the aliens, subtly mimicking their signals and observing their reactions. Alex noticed that other candidates were frustrated or giving up, but Zira stayed patient. Slowly, she started to respond to them in ways no one else could. The aliens stopped retreating and began interacting, forming small clusters around her. When the council representatives arrived to monitor the mission, they were stunned. None of the other candidates had succeeded, but Zira had achieved full communication. The aliens' lights pulsed in harmony with her signals, showing understanding and even playfulness. One of the council members leaned toward Alex. "Your partner. She has a rare talent. We have never seen anyone connect like this on a first attempt. Most humans or aliens require months of training." Alex's chest swelled with pride, though he tried to remain calm. "She's remarkable," he said quietly. "I noticed it from the first day." As the day continued, Zira demonstrated more. She could translate emotions the aliens were expressing into understandable patterns. When a creature appeared frightened, she changed her tone, her rhythm, and even her gestures, helping the creature relax. When another showed curiosity, she mirrored it, encouraging exploration. Alex watched her work and felt something profound. Zira's value was far beyond appearance or physical ability. She had a talent for understanding, bridging worlds, and creating harmony where there was none. She was more than smart. She was intuitive, compassionate, and extraordinary. That evening, after the mission, the candidates returned to the station. Many were silent, reflecting on what had happened. Zira quietly stored her equipment and walked alongside Alex toward the observation deck, where the stars shone like scattered diamonds across the black sky. "You were amazing today," Alex said. "I have never seen anyone connect with them like that." Zira shook her head. "I didn't do anything special, I just tried to understand them. If we rush or try to force communication, it never works. Patience and attention matter more than skill alone." Alex smiled. "It is special, and it matters. More than you know." Zira looked at him, her large eyes reflecting the starlight. "Thank you. That means a lot." Over the next few days, Alex observed the council's reactions. Many were impressed, some quietly envious. Zira's success became the talk of the station. Some candidates even approached her, asking for advice, which she offered patiently, never judging them for earlier mistakes. Alex noticed how she treated others with kindness, regardless of how they had treated her before. He also noticed how others started to see Zira differently. Some humans whispered among themselves, no longer focusing on her appearance but on her ability, patience, and calm wisdom. The other alien candidates, some of whom had initially dismissed her, began showing respect. But Alex didn't need their approval. He had seen her strength from the beginning. One night, Alex and Zira sat together in the quiet garden on the station. The alien plants glowed softly, creating a gentle, peaceful atmosphere. "You know," Alex said, "most people judge too quickly. They look at appearances and forget that the mind and heart are what truly matter." Zira nodded. "Yes, it is sad that many never see the real value in others. But those who do, they can create change." Alex leaned back, looking at the stars. "You've already created change today. I think you might change the way humans and aliens see each other too." Zira smiled softly, a small blush across her cheeks. "I just hope to help, not change anyone. The universe is big enough for all of us, we just need to listen." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. He realized that his admiration for her was growing, not just because of what she could do, but because of who she was. Her heart, her mind, her way of seeing the world, it was rare. And in a galaxy full of bright, flashy beings, her quiet strength shone brighter than most. The following day, Alex spoke with the council privately. "I think Zira is extraordinary. Her talent, patience, and understanding, they are exactly what humanity needs in this program. I hope others see it too." One council member smiled. "Captain Harper, you're right. Zira's abilities are rare. But I also see that you have a rare quality, seeing beyond appearances. That is a true mark of humanity." Alex felt a mix of pride and humility. He realized something important. In a galaxy where beings often judged by beauty, strength, or skill, the greatest power was the ability to understand and connect. And Zira had that power. As the stars shone outside the station, Alex looked at Zira, who was quietly observing the garden. He knew one thing with certainty. She was special in a way that no one else could match. She was more than a candidate. She was someone who could change the way humans and aliens saw each other. And Alex felt ready. Whatever the coming challenges were, he would face them with her by his side, knowing that true greatness comes from heart, mind, and understanding. Not appearances, not strength, not fame. And for the first time, he began to wonder, could this alien woman, who many called ugly, truly be the one he had been searching for? The day had finally come. Captain Alex Harper stood on the grand stage of the Interstellar Council, overlooking an audience of humans and aliens from dozens of civilizations. Holographic lights shimmered around the hall, highlighting the candidates arranged neatly in a semicircle. This was the moment Alex had been waiting for, the moment to choose a partner for humanity and to symbolize the unity of countless worlds. The council's announcer spoke in a calm, measured tone. "Captain Harper, it is time to select a partner. Remember, your choice is not just personal. It carries the hopes and trust of your species." Alex felt the weight of those words. but he also felt clarity in his heart. All the candidates were remarkable in their own ways, but he knew who he wanted. Not the ones with glowing auras or elegant movements, not the ones admired by others for appearances or skills. He knew the one who had truly impressed him. He took a deep breath and stepped forward. "Thank you, esteemed members of the Interstellar Council," he began. His voice was steady, though his heart beat quickly. "Today I must make a choice, not for myself alone, but for humanity. I have seen many remarkable beings here, each with incredible talents and wisdom. But one candidate has shown qualities that I value above all: understanding, patience, empathy, and courage. She has shown the strength of mind and heart, the kind of spirit that can unite worlds." Alex paused and turned toward Zira. She stood quietly, her large eyes reflecting the hall's lights. Many in the audience whispered, softly, some with surprise, some with curiosity. "I choose Zira," Alex said firmly. "I choose her because she is extraordinary. Not for how she looks, not for flashy abilities, but for who she truly is. She sees others, understands them, and brings harmony wherever she goes. These qualities, I believe, are the greatest a partner can have." A brief silence filled the hall. Many humans and aliens seemed stunned. Some had expected him to choose one of the more traditionally attractive or flashy candidates, but Alex held his ground, looking directly at Zira. Zira blinked, clearly surprised. She had not expected this public declaration. A soft blush colored her cheeks, and she bowed slightly, her way of showing respect. "Thank you, Captain Harper," she said quietly. I will do my best." Alex smiled. "I know you will. That is why I chose you." The council members conferred among themselves for a moment. Finally, the lead member addressed Alex. "Your choice is unconventional, yet thoughtful. You have demonstrated wisdom, courage, and a true understanding of what matters most. This decision will be recorded as a symbol of the values humanity wishes to bring to the galaxy: insight, empathy, and the courage to see beyond appearances." The audience began to murmur, slowly turning into applause. Some candidates clapped politely. Others, who had once doubted Zira, nodded with newfound respect. The whispers about her appearance faded, replaced by admiration for her skill. Patty. The days after the official announcement were filled with excitement and new responsibilities for Captain Alex Harper and Zira. The Interstellar Council had paired them with tasks designed to test not only their abilities, but also their partnership. They were to visit several planets, observe different species, and foster cooperation between humans and aliens. Alex could feel the weight of their mission, but he also felt a quiet confidence. With Zira by his side, he believed they could achieve anything. On their first trip together, they visited Lyria, a planet known for its complex social structures. The inhabitants communicated through musical tones and gestures, a language that most visitors found nearly impossible to understand. Zira's talents immediately became valuable. She listened intently, noticing subtle patterns in the tones and movements. With Alex's help, she was able to translate their messages into forms humans could understand. The Lyran Council was amazed. "We have never encountered beings who understand us so quickly," one of the leaders said. "You have brought harmony where we thought it impossible." Alex looked at Zira with pride. "You are extraordinary," he whispered. Zira smiled. Softly. "We just listened, that's all it took." Throughout their journeys, Alex noticed a pattern. While many species valued appearances, flashy skills, or physical strength, Zira's quiet understanding always made the greatest impact. She could calm disputes, bridge misunderstandings, and help others see each other clearly. Alex realized that her influence was subtle but far-reaching. One evening, on the planet Arendor, they encountered a community struggling with a small environmental problem. A group of alien plants was dying due to a misunderstanding of the local weather patterns. Other visitors had tried to solve the issue with technology, but their efforts only made things worse. Zira knelt beside the plants, observing them carefully. She noted the color changes, the temperature of the soil, and the behavior of small creatures living nearby. Alex watched, amazed, as she gently adjusted the plant positions, guided water to the roots, and communicated with the creatures. Slowly, the plants began to recover. "Why do you always approach problems this way?" Alex asked quietly. "Because every being has its own needs," Zira replied. "We cannot force solutions. We must understand first, then help." Alex smiled. He was learning from her not just about the universe, but about life itself. He saw that her approach, patience, observation, and empathy, was something humans often overlooked, and yet it worked better than anything flashy or forceful. During long travels, they also shared quiet moments together. On the observation deck of their ship, they would talk about their homeworlds, their hopes, and the small wonders of life. Zira often laughed softly at Alex's attempts to describe Earth customs in alien terms, and Alex found joy in her gentle teasing. "Do you ever miss your planet?" Alex asked one evening. "Sometimes," Zira replied. "But I think home is not just a place. It is where you feel understood and valued. And I feel that here, with you." Alex felt a warmth spread through him. He realized that their bond was growing stronger not because of duty, but because of mutual respect and shared understanding. They were partners in every sense, equal, supportive, and attentive to one another. As their influence spread across the galaxies, stories of their partnership reached other planets. Children listened in awe to tales of the human and the alien, who bridged worlds not with force or beauty, but with patience, intelligence, and heart. Leaders took notice, and more species began to rethink how they judged each other. On the planet Tarlan, they were invited to mediate a disagreement between two alien tribes over water resources. Most mediators relied on intimidation or authority to settle disputes. Zira, however, listened to both sides calmly, asking questions, observing body language, and reflecting the concerns of each tribe back to them. Slowly, the tribes began to understand each other's fears and needs. By the end of the session, a fair agreement was reached, not because Zira demanded it, but because she guided others to see clearly and empathize. Alex watched in quiet admiration. He realized that Zira's true power was not in her abilities alone, but in how she inspired others to act wisely. She led by example, teaching patience, understanding, and compassion without saying it outright. One quiet night, as they floated above a sparkling nebula, Alex turned to Zira. "You know, many people judged you when we first met. They didn't see the real you." Zira smiled softly. "Yes, but that is their mistake, not mine. The important thing is that we see each other clearly, and through understanding, we can change minds." Alex nodded. "You've already changed mine, and I think the galaxy will change too because of you." Their journeys continued, each day revealing new challenges and opportunities. Alex and Zira grew stronger together, learning from each other and teaching the worlds they visited. Their story spread, inspiring humans and aliens alike. People began to see that real value comes from character, empathy, and courage, not appearances. During one final visit before returning to the station, Alex and Zira sat on a quiet hill overlooking a glowing alien forest. "Do you ever think about how different our lives would be if we had chosen differently?" Alex asked. Zira shook her head. "No. Every choice led us here. And this partnership is about more than looks or skill. It is about respect, understanding, and shared purpose. That is what makes it strong." Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. He knew that their journey together was only beginning. They had already changed the lives of many beings, and the lessons they shared would ripple through the galaxy for years to come. And as the twin suns of the alien world dipped below the horizon, casting soft, golden light over them, Alex realized something important. Choosing Zira was not just a personal decision. It was a choice that reflected the best of humanity. Courage to see beyond appearances, wisdom to recognize true worth, and the heart to act with empathy. Together, they would continue to teach, guide, and inspire. They were not just a human and an alien. They were symbols of understanding, unity, and hope in a vast, often confusing universe. And for Alex, that made Zira the most extraordinary partner he could have ever hoped for, not because she was perfect, by anyone else's standard, but because she was truly special in every way that mattered. Years had passed since Captain Alex Harper chose Zira in the Grand Hall of the Interstellar Council. What had begun as a contest had grown into a partnership that changed not only their lives, but the lives of countless beings across the galaxy. Their journey together had taken them to distant worlds, through strange cultures and unique civilizations. But now, as they looked back, Alex and Zira realized that their true work had only just begun. The Interstellar Council had invited them to host the Cultural Harmony Festival, a gathering of species from every corner of the galaxy. The festival was meant to celebrate unity, understanding, and cooperation. For Alex and Zira, it was more than a festival. It was a chance to show what they had learned and what humanity could offer. Courage to see beyond appearances, wisdom to value true worth, and the kindness to act with empathy. As they stood on the main stage overlooking hundreds of alien beings, Alex took a deep breath. He thought back to the first moment he had met Zira, the alien many had called ugly. He remembered the quiet strength in her eyes, the patience in her actions, and the warmth of her heart, and he smiled, knowing that their choice had been the right one, not just for them, but for the galaxy. Zira stepped forward, addressing the crowd with her soft, clear voice. We are all different. Our worlds, our bodies, our languages, they are not the same. Yet these differences are what make us special. True beauty is not in how we appear, but in how we think, how we care, and how we act. When we see each other, clearly with understanding and respect, we create harmony. A murmur of approval spread through the audience. Many of the beings present had judged others based on appearances for centuries. Now listening to Zira, they began to reconsider. Alex joined her. We have learned that the universe is not about who is strongest, who is brightest, or who is most beautiful. It is about connection, understanding, and the courage to value what truly matters. This is the lesson humanity wishes to share, that true strength lies in the heart and mind, not the outward form. The festival continued for days with performances, cultural exchanges, and demonstrations of cooperation. Zira's abilities in communication and empathy became the highlight of the event. She guided species to understand each other, helping to prevent misunderstandings and building friendships that might otherwise have been impossible. Alex watched her work and felt immense pride. She had changed so much, not just through her abilities, but through the way she inspired others to act with kindness and understanding. And he realized something else. Her influence reflected the best of humanity. Humans were known for innovation, exploration, and courage, but through Zira's work, their capacity for empathy and insight shone across the galaxy. One evening, after the festival events had ended for the day, Alex and Zira walked together along a quiet path overlooking a nebula that glowed with soft pink and blue light. Do you ever think about how different everything would have been if I had chosen someone else? Alex asked, smiling. Zira shook her head, her large eyes reflecting the stars. No. Every step led us here, and this